Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Render, which has a current market cap of 2.1 billion and it is currently sat at $4. This is my current favorite pick in the deep-in sector. You can see my top cryptos listed here right now. These are my highest conviction plays in my portfolio. And in terms of the deep-in category or the GPU category, Render would be my best pick, okay, or my best option. And I'm going to make it really simple as to what this project does. So Render essentially is a crypto project that allows for a decentralized marketplace, a peer-to-peer marketplace where GPUs are the things being sold, right? Or rented rather than being sold, right? So you can essentially use GPU power from someone else on this network for your tasks, okay? And if you want, you could rent out your GPU if you're not using it and earn money for that. So I really like these types of projects, okay? It's a deep-in project. I really like these types of things where there's basically a resource, a technological resource that is being rented or being, used by other people, and you can earn money doing that. Now, GPUs and graphics cards, they can be used for all sorts of different tasks: AI, artwork, gaming, movies, all sorts of different things. And Render is basically a decentralized peer-to-peer network allowing for you to basically utilize GPUs. Okay, so that is really how I would describe it. Now, with that out of the way, we're going to get into the good stuff, right? Which is the price and the potential. Now, right now, Render is actually doing okay. It's up about 8 or 9% today, whereas the total 3 crypto market cap is only up 1%. So it is outperforming, most other altcoins. And what's interesting is the total 3 is at a very key level of resistance here, which is the March highs. I want everyone to have their eyes on this chart. We are currently rejecting at the March highs, but we'll have to see how we do in the next few weeks. But that is a significant point of awareness or attention that you guys should have, because this was the level that we broke below, and then we had a massive breakdown. So we really need to push above this level to begin an alt season. If we don't do that, then it's going to be delayed even further, which will be very frustrating because this alt season has already been delayed a lot. And I don't necessarily think we're going to be getting an alt season now, like some people are saying. Okay, some people are making out as if nothing has changed in the market over the last few months, and we're still on track as we were. We're still, en route. The reality is this market has gone off the route. It's gone onto a completely different route, completely different road, and that has thrown off the whole trajectory of the market and a lot of confidence in the cyclical theory, because we should be pumping right now for altcoins. So I am very much looking at the overarching market when making my decision making for a single altcoin. I'm looking at Bitcoin, I'm looking at the total 3, I'm looking at the S&P 500, because we are in an uncertain period right now, and I don't want to be giving ridiculously bullish price targets when the future is very uncertain. Now, with that said, if we go and look at the biggest assets in the entire world by market cap, okay, this includes public companies, precious metals, cryptos, ETFs, all sorts of different things. The biggest asset is obviously gold, and then you've got Apple, Microsoft, and then what is next? It's Nvidia. We live in a period where basically tech companies run the show, and Nvidia is one of those. It's currently at a market cap of 1.8 trillion pounds. Obviously, that's even more in dollars, so over 2 trillion in dollar valuation. And it's a massive, massive company with a lot of power. You hear Trump constantly talk about chips, Nvidia, and all of this because it matters a lot when it comes to global trade. And Nvidia is the powerhouse, basically the dominant company in that sector. Now, Nvidia has been doing very well if you look at it on the long-term chart, but lately it's been going down a lot. Now, one of the large reasons for Render's massive price action was Nvidia being a very strong stock, okay, a very well-performing company. I mean, it was outperforming everything. And during the period that render went up, a crazy amount, over 1,000%. I believe Nvidia did over a 2x in that time frame, right? So the reality is, whatever Nvidia does, render will probably do a lot more. But then when it comes to the downside, you'll have the same thing. Okay, so it's just increased volatility on something like Nvidia. Now, obviously, it's very different to Nvidia. They're not doing the same thing. Nvidia is a company selling chips. Render is a network. It's a platform for renting, GPU power. So it's a lot different. I'm not trying to compare them in terms of what they're doing. I'm just saying they're in the same sector. And this whole AI bubble, this whole AI run, this whole chip run will certainly have a positive effect for render when it's doing good. But then when they're going down, they're obviously going to have a negative effect for the render price. Now, one thing I'm seeing with the short term on render is this really nice kind of double bottom formation. We saw this on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin had a nice run. Okay, if I just pull up the BTC chart here and we go on the 4-hour, you can see the same type of thing happen on Bitcoin. Now, this didn't happen on every single altcoin, but I would say if your altcoin clearly formed a double bottom, a nice, clean double bottom like that, it's a sign of strength in your altcoin. If, however, your altcoin came down on the second low, that is maybe a sign of weakness. Now, render did basically the same as Bitcoin. So that's a really good sign to me in the chart. And it's seen a bounce as a result of that. So I would be inclined to believe there's a good chance the bottom is in for render. Okay, it's clearly above its lows. Maybe in the bear market, it could come back down to these levels. But I think for the short term to medium term, as in the next few months, I think render is looking pretty good. Now, I've just put some fibs on from this high in December, the most recent high, to this low. And we can look at some potential extension targets. So this is what I've been doing lately with a lot of my predictions. I've been looking at fib extensions, and I've been utilizing those to generate a bear case, a base case, and a bull case, okay, or optimistic case, whatever you want to call it. For render, my bear case is kind of anywhere between a double top at its all-time high, which could happen, okay? It's obviously a bear case. Bad things might happen, and we don't do as well as what we think. So we got to forecast that, and we got to factor it in. So my bear case would be kind of a double top or a hit of the 1.618. So that would be between $13 to $17. So let's just go for $15 as the bear case. Then if we're going for a moderate case, okay, a kind of expected case, I guess you could say. And this is quite high, but it just shows the quality of render. The fact that I'm going to give this as my base case is going to be $27. Now, when you zoom out, that looks like a long way away, right? $27. But think about it. Render's all-time high is around $13. 27, that's just 2x its all-time high. In an alt season scenario, that seems very, very doable to me. Now, I've said already, I don't think we're getting an alt season like many people think. I think a lot of people will actually be disappointed. Some people are looking for 20 to 50 X's across the board. Maybe that doesn't happen, right? Maybe you're looking more at a 5 to 15x on a lot of altcoins. And I've been saying this for a while. Now, if render was to go to that $27 target of a base case, you're talking a 560% move from here. No one's complaining on a nice 6x move. Now, bull case, and I want to make it clear, this is possible, but it's maybe not the most likely, but it's certainly possible, especially if we see Bitcoin go, above 120K, above 130. My bull case would be really anywhere between $36 to $42, anywhere in that region, which if we go and, look at the X's from here, you're talking 800%, which is a 9x, okay, to 946%. So 8 to 10x would be the bull case as of right now, as of today. Then the base case, as in what I expect, is around a 6.6x, okay? And then bear case, we're looking at maybe something like just a, 4x on render. So those are my targets. The reality is this is a very good coin, very strong project. They moved over to Solana from Ethereum, which I personally like. It shows the project is, in the present. They're going with the best tech, and the fastest, and that to me is a good thing. And you guys already know my opinions on Ethereum. I'm not the biggest bull, so I am pretty pleased with the fact that Render did move over to Solana. So that wraps up my video today. Make sure you guys go and check out the VIP group linked in the description. There is a current sale available. Use the code SAVE20, SAVE20 at checkout. You're going to save yourself 20% off any of the membership options. Okay. Yeah, you guys are going to get a ton of value with that. I don't think that applies to the big bundle, but if you are interested in a special discount for the big bundle, then drop me an email. But I'm sure most of you guys will be going for the VIP. If you are looking to make 7 figures this bull run, then I strongly recommend you get on a call with myself and go for the big bundle and have me as a lifetime mentor in future cycles as well. Yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Don't miss out on the sale. The prices will be going up once the market recovers. And, give yourself that competitive edge. Join a group full of investors that are in the markets 24/7, doing voice chats. I'm doing private live streams. I'm reviewing members' portfolios. I'm dropping my buy and sell alerts. So there's a ton of value in here. Strongly recommend it. You will not regret it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.